you know, y'all just try to disagree with me. That's what y'all try to do. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your No Frills American Idol commentary from a singer. Just tonight I'm about to tell you what happened. Let me tell you. Okay, it's the final season of American Idol and they promised to pull out all the stops. We started seeing people watch some of the winners on TV and being inspired to dream about their chance to compete. I think some of those people are this year's auditioners, right? We also got a throwback of the first opening of the show with Brian Dunkelman and Ryan Seacrest. Whatever happened to Brian Dunkelman? That's like one of the best decisions ever, right? Leaving the show. This year's judges, of course, are Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, and Harry Connick Jr. And we heard from each of them in the opening sequence along with several previews of auditions. We started out, y'all, in Atlanta, Georgia with Michelle Marie. Oh my God. Let me tell you, I know Michelle Marie from YouTube Idol Search, or Cree English YouTube Idol Search. We competed several years. I think I competed twice, but she won one year, and I did commentary at one time or two. It's just like, oh my God, I'm so glad to see her on the show. Yeah, she's 15. She did Blue by Leann Rimes. She is such a sweetheart and a hard-working singer. She was on point with some really nice tones, a slight yodel going on when she did the little ooh. She was like right on point. She handled this very well. For a 15-year-old, she is going to be one to watch. J-Lo said some people just sing so natural and called it very pretty. Harry said she did some things that were technically difficult and she sang the song. She made it to Hollywood and hugged all the judges, and her mom, Cheryl, she came in the room with all the family and stuff and all the supporters. She came and got right up in J-Lo's face. I was like, go girl. I ain't mad at you. Ruben Studdard, Taylor Hicks, Clay Aiken, DeWyze, and Kris Allen all helped to audition some of the contestants. Josiah Cisco was next. He was 18. He did Ghost Riders by Johnny Cash, and he started and had wonderful low notes with great enunciation and a lightness that doesn't always come with such low tones. I and the judges were surprised by his voice. He did a great job. Harry said he was impressed by his commitment and asked him to sing his lowest note, and he went on to Hollywood, of course. Lindita was 28. She did A Man's World by James Brown, and she lost 140 pounds for the audition and was looking good and attacked this with gusto. I wrote on Twitter like she had like a Christina Xtina-esque kind of vibe going on with it. Great solid tone and control, and she worked this audition. Harry joked that he loved how she stuck to the melody because she was doing a lot of riffing and stuff, and called her a powerful singer and said he liked it a lot. J-Lo said people would dream to come in and say that they nailed it like she did. Keith said he was really surprised and called her really great, and she's on to Hollywood, of course. And J-Lo also said after she left the room, right, she said she sang like a big girl. And if I do commentary like a big girl, please make sure to thumb it up and let me know that you are here with me for the final season of American Idol. So many memories, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them along the way. Come enjoy it with me, discuss, share this video. I thank you guys so much for your thumbs. Next up was Billy Bob Evett. He was 25. He did Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way by Waylon Jennings, and he was a good old country boy. He came in and the judges were doing all kind of crazy stuff, and J-Lo was laying on the table and he was unfazed. He was like, okay, I don't care if you're looking like that. Yeah. I was like, go ahead, old boy. He had some strong strumming going on his guitar, but it kind of overpowered his vocals for me. His voice was okay, but it wasn't great. Again, I lost a lot of him with the loud strumming, and he just really wasn't projecting over it. Keith said his singing wasn't strong enough. J-Lo said the pitch kept going off. Keith also said there was a lot to like, but it was a no from all the judges. Lee John was next. He was 15. He did I See Fire by Ed Sheeran, and he brought in the guitar, but started out a cappella. Nice tone, very clear, and lots of emotion. He played nicely when he came in and had J-Lo bouncing along with him. There were a little off-pitch things going on, but overall he gave a good first audition. J-Lo stopped him and said she wanted to squeeze him. Harry said he has a tremendous amount of talent but needs to work on singing in tune. Keith said he has a nice singer-songwriter quality, and he got 3 yeses to go through to Hollywood. Then we we moved on to Denver, Colorado. Jeneve Rose Mitchell was the first one up in Denver, and she was 15. She did Chainsaw by the band Perry, and she brought her cello with her, right? This big cello guy. I was like, okay, this was definitely going to be different from the usual. So I don't think the cello sounded very good, but her vocal production was really good, and she had some soul in there. I was like, there's no country girl out in the woods and stuff, and she had soul. I was impressed. She also had a lot of country going on. Keith said her rhythmic sensibility was amazing. Harry said she's a work in progress, but there's a lot to work with, and she was through to Hollywood. Sonica Bade was up next. She was 20. She did Look at Me by Carrie Underwood, and she sang along with the piano, and I was taken away by her sound. I was literally like typing her name, and I was like looking up like, wow, she sounds good. Some nice tones with a little edge, and she was very comfortable and really selling the emotion of the song without overdoing it, just letting it come out of her. Harry said it was a perfect performance and said she could win this thing. Keith said it was beautiful that she just sang and emoted so beautifully. J-Lo said it was gorgeous. Next we had Joseph Kohlruss. He was 16. He did Hello by Lionel Richie. And this seemed like a throwback to the old comedy auditions to me that Idol used to do, which I miss so much. Let me know down in the comments if you also miss some of the more comedy funny auditions like William Hung and Pants on the Ground. The setup was funny and the singing was comical, though you could tell he had a very clear voice and some training. It was just misdirected. He probably would have made it through with a better song choice. I wrote bad song choice and execution. J-Lo said he had a strong voice but super inconsistent. Keith said he had a big flexible range, but he hasn't figured out what to do with it. Rihanna Molinaro was next. She was 24. She did Leaving on Your Mind by Patsy Cline, and she's a police officer, and Harry asked her to be handcuffed. Oh, kick yourself. And he kept them on while she sang, right? Pretty good too. She had a clear, crisp tone with some nice emotion. I like when she opened up for the big note and showed real control. Harry said it was pretty good. J-Lo said there could have been more performance quality, but she had a really good voice. Keith said she had a pure country voice, and she got 3 yeses to go through to Hollywood. Sylvia Lee Walker was 16. She talked so much, but she came in and had the judges and me laughing, and they just let her go on and on and on. I had a feeling they had to cut some of these together. Because like at the point she didn't even take a breath. If she was talking like that, she talking like I'm talking right now. She just on and on and on and on and on. She launched right in when she started singing though, and she started yelling, and it was comical because I don't know. She looked to me like she didn't really prepare well, to really do a great job. I don't know what was going on. J-Lo called it awesome, and Keith said she has the most amazing accent. J-Lo just wasn't amused when she started talking again, and she did not make it to Hollywood. Then we got a collage of 3 previous auditionees who came in to audition again. Siobhan Philidor did Latch by Disclosure. Corey Wheeler did Benny and the Jets by Elton John. And Laurel Wright did Follow Your Arrow by Casey Musgraves. All 3 made it through and sounded good. They really upped their game since their first auditions. Then the judges started singing the Laverne and Shirley song because of Siobhan. And they did it with harmony, no less. I was like, y'all better be silly. Joshua Wicker was up next. He was 25. He did Stay by Rihanna. And J-Lo called him Ryan Gosling when he walked in. He brought his guitar and got really intense as he started the song. I was liking his voice, and he handled the lyrics with tenderness, and he got better as he went along. At points, I felt like he was straining a bit, but the sounds coming out were pleasing. J-Lo said interesting voice. Harry called it compelling. Keith said he sang it like he wrote it, and he got 3 yeses and brought in his wife to tell her the news. She was pregnant, and they showed the birth of his baby 3 weeks later. And then we got a baby parade with contestants bringing in their babies for the auditions. And this one couple came in with their baby to audition together. They were both singing Alex and Jordan Sasser. Alex did Count on Me by Bruno Mars, and she played a little ukulele and had a bright sound and a ebullient personality that came through in her vocals. It was just so nice and sweet and up, and I was just like, oh, so sunshiny and rainbows. Harry said it wasn't passionate at all. Keith said it was just a surface performance. J-Lo said she wanted to hear more passion, and she got 3 no's. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Wow! Oh my, I thought she was gonna go through. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with the judges or with me. Okay, Jordan Sasser then did It's All Coming Back to Me by Celine Dion, and he also had a strangely bright production and riffed quite a bit. He reminded me of like a Broadway performer, and I liked when he settled in at the end of the song better because he brought a little more pop to it. J-Lo said she was into it and he sang it really well. Harry said he's a really talented and smart vocalist. Keith noticed the buoyancy in both their sounds, and he got got 3 yeses to go through to Hollywood. I don't see how one got through and the other one didn't. They were both good. Okay, alright, anyway. That's how it happens sometimes. The knife just cuts one way or the other, baby. Next there was Carrie Courtney. He was 24. He did Black Sun by Death Cab for Cutie. And he had his guitar and was a little unfocused to me. He was bringing some intensity, but he looked a little drunk at times, and his facial expressions and stuff had me laughing a little bit, and I was just like a little uncomfortable, right? His movements were just kind of drunk and everything, and you know, he held it together, but I was like, I don't think he's gonna go through. Keith said he had a really unique style. Harry said it was quirky and different and called it an interesting piece of art. J-Lo called him super quirky but dark and scary, but she liked the tone of his voice, and he got 3 yeses to go through. I was like, okay, whatever, you know, y'all just try to disagree with me. That's what y'all try to do. Then we got a Keith Urban collage. They called it 6 Degrees of Keith Urban. And Shelby Z was up next. She did Last Name by Carrie Underwood. And I remember Shelby Z from season 5 of The Voice, right? Don't you remember her? Of course, she got into this, put on a little bit of the moves and stuff, and gave us some solid vocals. Very comfortable and centered with just enough twang to be understood. J-Lo liked her and said she had a lot of character. Harry said he didn't like her. He loved her and said she'd be very dangerous in this competition. And of course, she got 3 yeses to go through to Hollywood. And for the final audition, audition of the night, Kanye West showed up. And Harry just got down to business when he came in and started asking him questions and stuff. Kim K was outside the room talking to Ryan Seacrest, and Kanye performed a little bit of Gold Digger with a lot of bleeps in it. This is the final season, and I hope we're going to see much more of the celebrity appearances. That was the night. It was so uplifting. It was so much fun, and I hope to see more of the comedy. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. Tomorrow night we are in Little Rock and San Francisco. I hope to see you there. Make sure to share this. Thumb it up. I am out. Peace.